Thank you, Joel Farrell, and thank you to the talented team at Bloodworks Northwest. Now we're pleased to have Jeff Pritchard and Jim Barnhart provide updates on some programs of interest to our members. We'll start with Jeff.
Well, thank you, President Nancy, and I appreciate the opportunity to share some exciting and certainly meaningful news for Seattle 4. About 3 weeks ago, some 600 Rotarians gathered in Lusaka, Zambia, for the All Africa Rotary Zone Institute. For those of you who aren't familiar with some of the Rotary intricacies, the Rotary world is divided up into zones, and the continent of Africa encompasses one entire zone. And the Institute is simply a conference where district governors from all over Africa come together to plan the year ahead for all their respective districts. Well, several of us from Malaria Partners International also attended that conference. And among other things, we were there for a special announcement, a historic announcement, by Rotary International President Gordon McNally. And this was something that was in the works for quite a while. And because of the significance of this announcement, the conference was also attended by the executive of the President's Malaria Initiative, by senior representatives from the Gates Foundation, from World Vision, from PATH, and also, I might say, the Honorable Vice President of Zambia. And what RI President McNally announced was that Rotary, in conjunction with the Gates Foundation and World Vision, was launching the Healthy Communities Challenge. This is a 3-year, $30 million program to combat malaria in some of the most endemic countries in Africa. And in and of itself, this is huge for Rotary. This is the largest single investment Rotary has made outside of polio. And the 4 countries that this program will be focusing on are Zambia, Mozambique, Nigeria, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, one factor is those last 3 countries are incredibly high burden. Last year, almost 600,000 children globally died from malaria. 43% of those deaths were in just those 3 countries, Mozambique, Nigeria, and the DRC. So this program is going to be designed to help combat not only malaria, but also pneumonia and diarrheal diseases. Those 3 elements together are far and away the greatest killer of young children throughout all of Africa. The program structure is called Integrated Community Case Management. Now, a more user-friendly term of that is basically household-level delivery of healthcare services by volunteer community health workers. And this is proven to be an incredibly effective healthcare delivery system in the developing world for 2 reasons. The first is that it's financially sustainable. The second is it's extremely flexible. So this model can adapt to emergencies like we had several years ago at the height of COVID. It can adapt to opportunities. So as malaria vaccinations become more and more effective and more practical, this is a delivery model that can deliver those vaccinations to even some of the most rural areas in Africa. There are some caveats to this program, and that is this program will be working in some of the most remote, impoverished, and in some cases, some of the most politically unstable areas throughout all of Africa. So the work will not be easy. But because of the areas selected to focus, this has the opportunity to relieve literally millions of people from the burden of malaria, and invariably will save the lives of thousands upon thousands of very young children. Now, one of the things that is not known by Rotary leadership, and which I think club members here should find gratifying, is that this is becoming a real global initiative, and it started right here in this club. It was in 2009 that Bill Gates Sr. recommended that Seattle 4 take on malaria as the second centennial project. That effort sort of morphed into Malaria Partners International, which many of you have supported. You've served as on the board, you've been ambassadors. Malaria Partners International facilitated a lot of very early malaria global grants. And I should say a lot of those were spearheaded by Jim Moore. Those were also critically supported by your own Seattle Rotary Service Foundation. And it's those early malaria global grants that made the programs of scale malaria project successful. And it's that project which has since made this major initiative, this $30 million initiative, a success. So from the Seattle 4 standpoint, every member and certainly everyone who's been involved in the malaria effort should be extremely gratified that it started right here in Seattle 4. The other thing I think you should reflect on, and when you're sitting down this year in regard to your contributions, this shows the incredible reach and impact of your gift to not only the Rotary Foundation back in Evanston, but right here to your own Seattle Rotary Service Foundation. So with that, I'll turn it back over to the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Nancy, you want me to jump in at this point? Yep. Yeah. So hi, everyone. Very, very quickly, Oxbow Farm and Conservation Center on October 7th is hosting a tour and walkabout of the farm and conservation center. We're going to meet at 10 a.m. at their farm stand right outside of the Carnation, about 30 minutes east of downtown Seattle. I'm going to give a tour for a couple of hours. We're going to learn about our organic farm programming and what that's doing, both science-wise and on food access and other pieces of the work. We're going to talk about our conservation programs up and down the Snoqualmie Valley. We're going to tour our native plant nursery, where we're trying to ignite a native plant movement across the region, and then talk about our education programs with K through 12 children that actually Seattle 4 is supporting as we speak through our Environmental and Sustainability Committee. So that's from 10 to 12. Folks should bring a lunch with them because then folks who have lunch, we can have a light lunch out by the pergolas on the farm. And then folks who are interested, we'll be hosting or actually putting on a workshop on dyeing summer flowers from one of our staff members. And so if you get online, you can sign up for that program. I'm posting that right now on www.oxbow.org. So if you're interested in staying for the 1 o'clock workshop, that'd be great. And families are welcome, kids. It's a fun place. There's you can tour the hiking trails around that we have, and it'll be a great day. So let's watch the weather. You might need to bring heavy boots just in case, but either way, rain or shine, it's a fun place to visit, and we'd love to have you. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, Jeff, for your great announcement. That's such exciting news about malaria and such great work that you're doing, Jim, at Oxbow. So look forward to introducing that to many of our members. Many of you have also heard that Rotary has a vibrant youth exchange program. Is there a young person in your life who's looking for a unique summer experience? If you do, share with them about the District 5030 short-term youth exchange program. It's for high school students age 15 to 18. And for this next summer, it's time to apply. Students will go over to their host country to stay with a family for a month, doing everything that family would normally do, and seeing a new culture and getting to know your host sibling and the rest of their family. Then our exchange student returns back to here with their exchange student to share our culture with that youth. Very exciting. Last year we had a presentation from Emily Thane, who did a youth exchange to Spain, and it was great to hear the impact on her and her family